I'm Sabrina. So to give you a little explanation about my crazy story, because it is quite crazy. So I grew up in Germany until I was 19, and then I played tennis for school, so I went to America. And then from there I just never went back to Germany. I lived in Italy, in Spain, in France, because I was studying economics, and I had exchange programs, so I could easily move around Europe. And then after I graduated, I came to Istanbul for an internship, and I was amazed by the city, like the energy, the youth, the average age is so young. And I went to Eminonu, to Grand Bazaar, to all these little areas, and I saw a lot of craftsmanship. But then after this, I didn't stay in Istanbul. I said bye-bye, and I moved to Asia, to Hong Kong, and I was traveling all over Asia, and in this time I lived in Bali. Then I was thinking, well, that was the first time I had my prototypes done, in Jakarta. And I met people in Bali and they were so supportive, and I was even thinking to just live in Bali. But it was way too far away, so I said no, I need to be close to Europe, so I was thinking maybe Italy. But then Italy, it's very difficult to start. So there you go, as life is all connected, there was a reason I came to Istanbul before. So I decided to come back to Istanbul. The only difficulty was that no one speaks English, and I had to learn Turkish. But since, in all these countries I lived, I always learned the local language. I was like, all right, I can do that. So I learned Turkish, and I went the first time to Grand Bazaar 3 months later, and I knew one sentence: Ben ayakkabı üretmek istiyorum. That was the one sentence I had written down, and I was going from corner to corner, and they thought I was crazy. And but that's how I found the first factory. I was a bit frustrated myself in having a perfect shoe, because most of the shoes, they're not very comfortable or they're not stylish enough. So I found out within the industry that most of the shoes, when they're produced, they use ready-made prototypes, and they choose from prototypes and heels. And so I really wanted to focus on comfort, and so I completely remade the prototypes, and I use my own feet, and I have the worst feet in the world because I used to play tennis, and so since my feet are so bad, I made the prototypes for my feet, so I'm sure they're gonna fit for everyone. And so far, of all the online shoes I've been sent out, I didn't have one return. And I'm sure it's because of my horrible feet, and that every woman in the world, they can fit in this kind of prototype. How did I start? That's a good question. So after I had the first prototypes done, of course you need to promote it. You need to get your product out there. So but in this time, thanks to social media, especially Instagram, it was the best channel to start it. So I used to model a lot, and also in Istanbul there was an agency. So I did some jobs for a normal agency, and I met a couple of photographers, and I started taking the first pictures myself, and I started creating this account for my brand name, Bobobali. And the most important was I wanted to really express a niche style. So I named the girls who wear my stuff Bobo girls, because they're bohem bourgeois, Bobo. And they have this, this certain characteristic. They're like girls, they like to travel, they're educated, they're curious, they're fearless, they're wild, and yet they know how to fit into society. So kind of like a contrast I wanted to create in the style. And so I used Instagram, at Bobobali, by the way, please follow. And so I did a lot of shootings, and I love the cooperation. All the photographers, they love to, just organize the shooting, and I was always very spontaneous. I never had anything fixed, A lot of people said, like, we need to have a plan and stuff. I said, no, let's just take a couple of outfits and let's go and let's just start. And I think that was really the magic. I could get all this energy and all this spontaneity in these shootings, and I think that's really what people feel. Like a lot of our followers, we have a high engagement, a lot of comments on our designs, and so it's amazing, because you feel so much closer to your customers. I think this is really something in nowadays in entrepreneurship and in fashion entrepreneurship, which is amazing because your customer is no more just a number or maybe someone you give your products to a store and then you have some random customer buying it. It's really the customer comes direct to me, like they know who I am, they know I made these boots, and they know when I answer my emails and my inquiries, I say regards Sabrina, so they know it's me, and it's an amazing sensation to see the feedback, Like sometimes a customer said, they were from Brazil and they said, we love these shoes so much, and they bought another one in different colors. So this is an amazing thing that's really came from Instagram, I have to say.